Welcome to How to Be Holy, just a few easy steps. This is Jimmy. He lives in a normal house with a normal family and is just a normal 10-year-old boy. Let's see if he wants to be holy. Hey Jimmy! Yes, you. Would you like to be holy and be friends with God?
Boy, would I! That sounds like a lot of fun, mister.
Alright, let's get started on our first step. Moral purity. Moral purity is, first step, care for the poor. Second, have integrity. And third, social justice. Here's a cartoon strip of how the Israelites showed moral purity. First, they cared for the poor. They only had one wife or one husband. And third was just being fair while trading goods. So, how can you help the poor, Jimmy?
Caring for the poor? What about I help feed the poor? Does that count? Corn and a banana?
Do you have 5 girlfriends, Jimmy?
I don't even know if girls like me. Ew.
What about showing justice?
Oh, showing justice. Scout's honor. I can be fair. See? I chopped a candy bar exactly in half. You can have a piece, and I can have a piece.
That's pretty impressive, Jimmy. Now for the next step.
Wait, there's more?
Yes, Jimmy, a few more steps.
This is a little bit harder than it looks.
Step number 2, ritual purity. This is more of a do not do list, which is contact with bodily fluids, having a skin disease, touching mold, touching dead bodies, and eating dirty or unclean animals. So, Jimmy, have you broken any of these rules?
Mister, I think I'm unholy because I'm pretty sure I broke all those rules. Except for touching a dead body. I haven't touched one. Ew. No thanks.
Well, let's take a look at all the rules you broke, Jimmy.
Oops. Be right there, Mom. Oh, man. Oh, no. This is someone else's tissue. Someone else's bodily fluids. Oh, no. Oh, gross. Oh.
That's right, Jimmy. Check for skin disease.
What about this pimple on my head? What about this rash on my arm? Does that count as skin disease?
I don't know if that counts, Jimmy.
But what about my favorite snacks of moldy bread and mushroom pizza? They're my favorite.
Jimmy, you're not supposed to eat that. Speaking of eating, Jimmy, let's take a look at the impure animals you're not supposed to eat, like all insects. You can only eat fish that have scales and fins. So crabs, shrimp, and squid you cannot eat. There's only 2 hoofed animals you can't eat, and that's pigs and camels. And Jimmy, there's a lot more other animals you can't eat, but I couldn't fit it all on this list. So Jimmy, have you eaten any of these impure animals?
But mister, those are all my favorite foods.
Sorry, Jimmy. Now for step number 3, ritual feasts.
7 annual feast? I'm starving. What are they called?
Well, thanks for asking, Jimmy. They're called the Passover, Unleavened Bread, First Fruits, Pentecost, Trumpets, Day of Atonement, and Tabernacles.
That sounds delicious.
Now for step number 4, ritual sacrifice.
There's more?
Ritual sacrifice consists of a thank you to God, which is an offering of what you have.
Gee willikers, mister. This is a lot of work.
That's right, Jimmy, especially number 2, the ritual sacrifice of I am sorry. This sacrifice is where a priest takes your sin and puts it on a goat, and then...
Wait, mister, wait. We can't. No. My heart can't take it. I mean, the poor little goat. I mean, just look at him. I promise I'll never sin again. Please?
Yes, I know, Jimmy, it's sad. But if you want to be holy and you want your sins to be forgiven, a priest has to take your sins and put them on a goat and sacrifice it. Well, Jimmy, thanks for, trying to be holy.